for getting through nursing school. I'm a senior nursing student, so I feel like I can give good advice on what I would want to know and the things that I have gone wrong in. So if you want to see more content like this, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and comment, please. So for my number one tip is do practice questions. So a lot of the questions in nursing school are extremely stupid. So we're never really taught how to answer NCLEX style questions or select all that apply. And a lot of times the questions do not make any sense. Like they'll ask you what you should say back to a patient when they tell you they're depressed or something, and you're supposed to repeat back to them what they said. You are feeling depressed. It makes zero sense. Me and my friends always joke around that it's always the answer that you don't think is correct that you would never say to a patient. So these NCLEX style questions can be super tricky, and it definitely takes some getting used to answering the questions, because you have to stop thinking from your perspective and what you would say to a patient and start thinking in the NCLEX style way they would say something or answer a question. I think the biggest thing that bothered me about NCLEX style questions is I could know everything about a nursing concept for the test, know everything that's supposed to be on the test, and just really have the material down, and I could still do bad if I don't know how to answer the questions. So after you take a test, you want to review that test with the professor. So email your professor once they get the test graded and ask if you can meet with them to talk about the test. And so you can actually go through the questions you got wrong and figure out why you got them wrong so you can learn from your mistakes. Also, a lot of times they use the same questions on the final, so this will be really beneficial. I remember my last semester in nursing school, our teacher didn't tell us we could come in and review our test till the middle of the semester, and all those questions appeared on the final. So also, if you're like me and you review the test, you can argue your point. Like, this one's right, this is why this one's wrong, and I would find it in a book and I would prove my point. But for some professors, they're stuck in their ways. They don't want to admit that they're wrong. So another really good tip is find a good friend group. A lot of people in nursing school are negative Nellies. They like to complain and just worry and worry and worry. And so you can get stuck in that train of negativity if you don't find a good friend group. So when I first started nursing school, I hopped around friend groups like multiple times, trying to find the people that were least like high school students and trying to find people that were more positive. So me and my friends always send each other Snapchats of like, we're gonna kill this test right before the test, and just build each other up. Okay, so you want to create a planner and get you a nice big old planner. Like I went out and bought a $20 planner. It's really cute. It has quotes on it, motivational quotes. And so I wrote everything in fancy colored pen in my planner, and that was a huge mistake because they changed everything in the middle of the semester. So pretty much my whole planner was loaded in pen. So I was like, all right, I'm ditching the planner. So I didn't really know what was going on the rest of the semester, but I still did good in the semester, and my friends helped me out. Also, you want to find an outlet. Find something that you feel passionate about, that you like to do in your free time, that does not have to do with school, and that will get your mind off school. So what I would do is do yoga and work out after class, because I knew I wasn't going to go home and study. Like, whenever you get home from an 8-hour day of class, you are so drained that you just can't study. Also, after clinicals, you're completely drained. It's hard to study then. So it's important to find something that you like to do and get stress off your mind. Just don't think about school for an hour of your day, because nursing school really does consume your thoughts like 24/7. So I think exercising is a huge thing that helps. Okay, so for the most stressful thing in nursing school are the tests. So I advise you to study a week ahead of the test. So have your planner out, and then I would write my planner a week ahead. Start studying for this. Plan out your days when you're going to study for this and when you're going to study for the next test, because you're going to have several tests in 1 week all the time. So it's important to study ahead of time so that you're less stressed and you're not moving around at the last minute to try and figure out how you're going to study for this test. For a studying tip, do not study non-stop. It's not actually going to help you whenever you're drained and trying to consume all this test material and you're not actually remembering anything because you're so drained and sick of school. And so what I would do is I would use the Pomodoro technique. I would study for like 25 to 30 minutes and then take a break and then go back to it. I'd study a week ahead of the test so that you're more prepared and you don't have to scramble and study for 5 hours straight, which is very ineffective. You want to spread out your studying time so that you're more likely to remember it. So I think studying for 30 minutes on and off is a good idea. So for nursing school professors, we might not like every single nursing professor we get. Some might really piss you off, but my advice to you is to create a good relationship with them, because they're going to be the people that recommend you for a job. A lot of times you have to have a reference, so having a professor as a reference for a job that you want is a good idea. Also, scholarship opportunities. It's just good to have a good relationship with your professor. Also, you might see them again, so you never know. For another tip, get involved in school. A lot of nursing schools have Student Nurses Association. It's really a good way to get involved because it brings you volunteer opportunities, things to put on your resume. It's really a great resume building activity, and you get to get out of school and just think about something else whenever you're doing an activity. Like we do self-care days. We just plan all these events that are actually fun, and we get to volunteer and do things for local hospitals. So that looks really good when we apply to that hospital that we've done something for them. For example, we made tie blankets for a children's hospital near us. So that's something I can put on my resume. I'm actually on the executive board at my Student Nurses Association, and I feel like it really creates good leadership opportunities. Okay, so for my least favorite tip, wake up early. I hate waking up early. I like to sleep till 1 p.m. if I can, which I never can, but I always wake up at 5 a.m. on a school day because I live like an hour away, so I don't want to get stuck in traffic. But I end up getting a ton of work done. I'm always the first person there, working on my computer. So I'll read the book before class, review what we're going over, or I'll get ahead on all the clinical assignments or the homework. Here's another really important tip. Get a good amount of sleep, because sleep is going to be what your fuel for the day. If you don't sleep good, you're just going to be exhausted. You're going to do terrible in clinical because you're going to be so tired. You're not going to focus in class because you're going to be so tired. I see a lot of nursing students say, oh, I studied all night till 1 a.m. I'm like, guess what? I went to bed at 8 o'clock. That's not a good idea to stay up till 1 a.m. trying to cram for a test. It's very ineffective. Celebrate the small victories. So you want to reward yourself for all your hard work because you're going to work your butt off in nursing school. So you definitely want to celebrate the small victories, like finishing your first round of exams for your new semester. Me and my friends would go out for drinks when we finished our first round of exams. Just do something that gets your mind off of it, and so you get more in an upbeat kind of way whenever you reward yourself. And for the last tip, don't be one of those people that just wing nursing school, because it's not a good idea, especially if you want to go on to advanced practice. What's that going to look like when you have a crappy GPA because you just winged it in nursing school and you didn't actually learn the concepts really well? It will just create more stress in the end when you graduate and you have this terrible GPA that you can't put on a resume. And it's never good to just wing things. You want to give something your 100% if you're going to do it. Do you want to be a good nurse or a crappy nurse? So that is all the tips I have for you today. Make sure you hit that like button, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.